Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving into a C-sharp feature that is, and I'm not exaggerating here, a total game changer for writing cleaner, more readable code. We're talking about positional patterns.
Okay, let me ask you something. I'm betting this sounds familiar. Have you ever found yourself staring at a screen completely lost in a tangled mess? A pyramid, really, of nested if-else statements? You're just trying to check some data, and you think to yourself, there has to be a better way.
Well, guess what? There is a much better way. C# gives us a really elegant solution to this exact problem. Let's talk about positional patterns. So, what is a positional pattern, really? At its heart, it's a way to check your data based on its shape and position. Forget just checking values one by one. Think of it like having a stencil. You're saying, I'm looking for data that looks exactly like this, and C# does the matching for you. So, why should you start using this? Well, the benefits are pretty huge. First off, your code gets way more concise. You get to ditch all that extra boilerplate. It's also incredibly expressive. Your logic starts to read less like code and more like a set of simple, clear rules. This makes it so much easier to read and understand. And it's incredibly efficient, especially when you pair it with modern C# goodies like records and tuples. All right, theory is great, but let's see this thing in action. Nothing makes a concept stick like a real-world example. So we're going to build a super simple zone calculator for a delivery app. This is where it's all going to click. Here's the game plan. First, we'll define a location using a simple XY coordinate tuple. Nice and easy. Then, we'll write the main logic using a switch expression to figure out which zone that location belongs to. And finally, our goal is to get a simple, human-readable string back, telling us the delivery zone.
And here it is. Just take a second to look at that. Isn't that clean? We're passing in our location, and the switch expression just lays out every single rule one by one. We can check for exact values like 0, 0. We can use relational patterns to check for quadrants like greater than 0, greater than 0. We can even use wildcards. This is our business logic translated directly into code with zero clutter. Okay, that code looks amazing, but let's actually pull it apart piece by piece so we can really understand how this magic is happening.
Let's decode these patterns. We start with 0, 0, which is just a simple constant pattern. It looks for an exact match. Then you have things like greater than 0, which are relational patterns. Now here's where it gets really powerful. See that underscore in 0, underscore? That's the discard pattern. It's basically a wildcard, a way of saying, I don't care what this value is. So this pattern matches when x is 0 and y can be anything at all. And finally, that single underscore at the bottom, that's our catch-all, our default case. All right, let's put our new function to the test. Let's say a delivery request comes in for the coordinates 5, -3. What do you think the output's going to be? And the result is southeast zone. Exactly. The code checks the patterns, sees that 5 is positive and -3 is negative, and it hits that greater than 0, less than 0 pattern perfectly. It just works, and it's so intuitive. Okay, let's fire off another one just to be sure. What about the location -4, 2? And of course, the result is northwest zone. The 0, 0 pattern catches it just as we planned. The logic is just so predictable and easy to trace. So look, the big takeaway here is that this is about more than just one cool code snippet.
This represents a fundamentally clearer way to write conditional logic. And, as a little bonus, modern C# compilers are really smart about optimizing switch expressions like this, so you might even see a performance boost compared to a long chain of if-else statements.
I mean, when you put the two approaches side by side, it's just night and day, isn't it? The old way is clunky, it's hard to read, and it's a pain to maintain. The pattern way is compact, it's expressive, and you can understand the entire set of rules in a single glance. Your code becomes so much more intentional. And you can use this for so much more than just mapping coordinates. Think about calculating pricing tiers based on different factors, or managing states in your application, or even parsing data you get back from an API. The possibilities are pretty much endless. So, as we wrap up, I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. Now that you've seen how clean and powerful positional patterns can be, take a look at your own projects. I guarantee you've got a tangled if block somewhere that's just begging to be refactored into an elegant, expressive switch. Go find it.